Two for the money today. Let's do it. Ooh, leather. Which one do we do first? Gotta go on the left. Oh, nice. Upside down, though. Ooh, this is nice leather, too, by the way. That is top grain leather there. Smells good, feels nice and smooth. You got the snap-in closures. Nice case. That's included with the watch. So this is the Houtman Murchison. And this basic watch, the case, comes in 4 different styles. So, I mean, the case is identical across those 4 different styles. You just got different dials, different handsets, etc. And this is the optional beads of rice bracelet, too. They come with one leather strap and one suede strap. And this is an additional purchase if you like. So we'll check it out. Let's give this thing some juice. Oh, that crown feels good. Oh, this is nice. Okay, inside is the SW200 from Sellita, Swiss-made automatic movement. And I'm always very particular about the winding, the hand winding of the Sellita. And this one feels nice. I think because this crown pops out so far that it's easy to wind. So usually a lot of resistance with the SW200-1. And this one does have that resistance, but not difficult to wind. Feels good. So it's got to be a little bit from the knurling on the crown. And like I said, the way it pops out nice and far from the case as well. Look at that crown tube. Love that stylized shipwreck logo of Houtman watches. Now, this prototype does have a ghost date position here, but the actual production model is going to feature a movement that I didn't even know existed until I found out it was going to be in this watch. The Sellita SW200-1B, as in boy. And that is a OEM no-date movement. So this is the Aviator version, and that is just definitely got a nice Flieger look to it. Oh, man, I love this case. Look at the turn down. Drilled lugs, too. You got some nice brushing there on the mid case. And then you see high polish on that fixed bezel. And it looks like, yeah, the top side is brushed. There you go. You see that radial brushing to match the circular pattern of the bezel itself, and then polished on the sides. And nice polished chamfer there as well. Yeah, look at the legibility on that one. Nice syringe style hands. I love that seconds hand too. Got that candy bar in the middle, or rather, towards the end. Oh, nice clean. Love that all lowercase Houtman logo, and then just automatic 100 meters on the bottom section of the dial. Man, the legibility on that handset is just awesome. That stark white with the black background. That is a jet black dial. And Bracelet's got some nice silkiness to it, great articulation. Those don't appear to be individual smaller links there on the polished part. But like I said, the articulation feels good. Look at that. That is some nice finish work. Look at that brushing on the clasp. Double push button, no safety latch, milled scissor, and fully milled clasp as well. And there is a micro adjust in here. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, maybe 5 positions. Yeah, 4, because that's where it wants to sit. And nice solid links, and you've got screw pins for adjusting the sizing. Single-sided screw pins. And that is a stamped 3D kangaroo. And it's funny because the last review I did, you can check out this video right here, for Houtman watches. They had a dog embossed kind of like this on the back, and I said that the only thing about the watch I didn't like was it left that imprint of the dog on the back of my wrist if I had been wearing it for a while, or my wrist had swollen up or whatever. And so they're actually offering a sterile caseback with this watch too. If you for some reason don't want this caseback, you can get a just a sterile one, and it ends up being just a little bit thinner too, about 0.5 millimeters. So, and that is a flat sapphire crystal. It's got 3 layers of anti-reflective coating on this prototype here, but the production model is actually going to have 6 layers, so they're doubling that up. Let's see what's in the other case now. So like I said, there's 4 different watches. I've got 2 of them here, and that is the Burnt Earth. Cool. So there's one of the straps you'll get is this leather strap here. But let me get back to the watch. That's pretty slick. It's kind of a gradient salmon dial. They call it Burnt Earth. And I'll tell you, I can see the markers here next to the numerals. That has got, I imagine, some lume to it. And I'll say that the production model will not have the lume. So I'd assume that those pips might not be there as well. But I could be wrong on that. Let's get this one going so we see what it looks like. Nice matte black handset. Again, with great contrast. You see those numerals quite easily against that salmon dial, and of course the handset as well. Winding feels just as good as the other watch. Something jumping out at me right away. It feels like the numerals are pushed a little too close to the case. I feel like they should be more towards the intersection of the dial just a little. But that's just me. Love that classic numeral look though, right? Very cool. Oh, that handset's nice. I don't know if you can see it here, but again, you've got a kind of a step up with that the Riot, the chapter ring. You can see the indentations for the minute marks there. Very subtle, but that is cool. Yeah, I like that. So you can see these are the exact identical case, but really take on different look, right? I mean, this is just 2 out of the 4 watches that share the same case. Everything is identical about them, like I said, with the exception of the dial and handset. All right, let's take the Aviator and use it to measure up. So getting 40 millimeters on the diameter, lug to lug of 47.8 millimeters, lug width of 20 millimeters, spot on, and a case thickness of 12.1 millimeters. Now, the prototype is that, but the production models will be 11.5 millimeters. And if you choose that the sterile Caseback, then it'll be 11 millimeters. The Aviator on the optional beads of rice bracelet is 158 grams. And Burnt Earth on the supplied leather strap, 84 grams. Oh, the lume looks nice and crisp. Look at that. Swiss BGW9 blue everywhere you see. Numerals, the little pips next to the numerals, and the handset as well. That's got a great clean application. Looks nice and crisp. Man, that handset looks looks awesome day or night, right? Man, that's a lot of lume on that handset. Now, I'm only showing you the Aviator out of these 2 watches because the Burnt Earth will not have lume on the production model. All right, lights back on, and let's try it on. Both of them, as a matter of fact. But first, today I'm wearing the Timex Expedition North Tide Temp Compass. Cool watch. Got a motor inside for the multifunction hand. You know, you can tell the temperature, the tides, and you can use it as a compass as well. I've got a little unboxing video of this thing right up there. Look out. Okay, don't have it sized for me. It's a little tight here, so but just to kind of give you a look at what it looks like. This is a 40 millimeter watch on my 8-inch wrist. Love that bracelet. Very cool. That is a great add-on. So, you know, especially if we're going to pick up more than one watch of this Murchison series, you know, you can swap you can swap the bracelet to each watch, etc. So, identical cases, pretty cool. Let's check out the leather strap on the Burnt Earth version real quick. Nice, soft, pliable leather. You can see it's got some creases in it already, so it's starting to break in. This is, again, a prototype watch, so it's been around, so it's getting a little bit of use, the leather strap. And the underside is very, very soft. I mean, velvety smooth. So this is going to be comfortable, I can tell. And your buckle looks to be sterile, but brush work on it as well. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that. That strap's a perfect match for this Burnt Earth dial, right? The Salmon really takes on some different colors. You know, it's funny because I'm looking at it through the camera and it looks a little pale to me versus in real life it's looking a little more orange, a little more salmon to me. I don't know if I can get it to change color on you a little bit. Not much. See that gradient there too. It's pretty cool. The Houtman Murchison, again named after a area in Western Australia. The Murchison River, as a matter of fact, is where they started with their inspiration for this series. But these are available for pre-order. They're going to be estimated to ship in April, so not too shabby on the turnaround time. You're basically getting in right now. And the pre-order price is about $408 US. Now, these prices are set in Australian, so there will be a conversion, so that price may fluctuate a bit here and there. But that ends on March 20th. So $408 US, ending on March 20th for the pre-order to get that price. After that, after 3/20/23, you want to check their website for the prices. I've got a link down below in the description section. And the bracelet is available as well for pre-order for $61. And if you'd like that blank case back, it's $11. Well, that's a pretty bang-up price for a watch with these specs, and especially with the Swiss Sellita SW200-1 automatic movement. So, man, if you're attracted to these, you're going to want to snag it up on that pre-order. If you're seeing this video after that date, well, you missed out, didn't you? You should have been here earlier. Oh, well. But still a great price to be had, I'm sure. What do you think of this Houtman Murchison watch, huh? 4 different styles all in the same case. You dig it? Let me know in the comments section down below. Love to hear from you. And I'll catch you in the next video. I'm Whit with so many watches, so little time. And money.